indicating the start. Riders ready. Roll out.
Welcome back to another video of Midweek Club Race Series. This was the final race of 2021 season and actually a short one, only 20 laps. So we had 4 major teams representation in this race. So one was UNC or United Nations Cyclists. The second one was us actually, University of Toronto Road Racing, UTRR. And then we had Zone Cycling Team, which you can see right now. And then finally the Midweek Club race team itself. We had women's race scheduled for this evening and the organizers had to squeeze both races in and also keep the elite races afterward before the sunset in Toronto. That's why it was only 20 laps this time around. So B race is almost equivalent to Cat 4 and 5 race in the States if you're familiar with USTA cycling, and mostly we have riders new and less experienced to do rides here. So, and just like any Cat 4-5 races, it's sketchy and sometimes messy and normally involved with crashes. So we do have a few marshals in the race to keep the ride safe and then, keep the riders in place, but due to the lack of experience with most of the riders, these sketchy moments would be inevitable. Okay, so let's get into the race. As always, we started the race by a neutral lap, so the riders getting to speed and natural placement. So right here there's a massive headwind coming from north or northeast, and we thought it would make it impossible for people to just form a breakaway. So my strategy for this race was to conserve energy as much as possible and at the end perhaps contest the sprint. So normally there are no team tactics here, but just before the race, me and my teammate Zach plan out a few strategies for the race, just to hear the race has been shortened to only 20 laps, right? So definitely that would mean no breakaways with that massive headwind, and it turned out actually so at the end. Okay, let's fast forward to lap 10 to see more actions here. So up until here, nothing interesting has happened and I just tried to conserve energy. Still my heart rate was high. Actually right here I was almost crashing to my teammate. I was so lucky I had the brake at the right time. Somebody hit the brake in front of him and he had to slow down as well, right? So in these races, people subconsciously hit the brake in the corners. So that's why you have to be super cautious at all times. Okay, let's go to lap 15. So the race tends to slow down here as it hits a 2 to 3% gradients and riders normally jam quickly. And that's why some sketchy things might happen here, which it did. Okay, so after surviving the crash, the organizers decided to neutralize one lap, right? So at this point, we're gonna have a neutral lap, and after which we're gonna have a resume of the race with 4 laps to go. So now it's almost 4 laps to go, and I have to make sure that I'm going up through the pack, or otherwise I don't have a good position to sprint. So normally you have to keep shouting to the riders in front so that they don't take your wheel down. Right, lap 19, and still we had another incident. Okay, so these races never disappoint, right? Okay, so now we are approaching to the final lap and I wasn't able to move as much as I wanted to. Actually in this corner I tried to take the inside line, but yeah, the rider in front didn't let me, so I had to just add a brake, and then in order to get back to the pace I had to spend a huge effort right now just to stay with the bunch. And here it was the massive headwind section, so it wasn't easy to move up to the pack without spending so much energy. So I decided just to stay with the bunch and try to move up in the next corner. And still, if you see, my heart rate is pretty high, but I mean it's a final lap, so you have to carry on, let's say, suffering. So now after taking this corner, I try to squeeze into every possible gap without making a risk for myself and everyone else. But I mean, when the speed is getting high, the field is getting strung out, and normally it's not that easy to move up unless you have a good lead out man in front of you, right? So right here I just tried to move left, but then the gap was close, and then I was shouting at the rider, just go up, up, so I can just follow them, right? We started the sprint, but then no, the riders in front hit the brakes, so everyone slowed down, and then I realized, yeah, the chance is gone.
Oh my god. That was the worst.
Alright, that's a wrap for 2021 Midweek Club Crate season. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in another video.